Hello, Pisces. This is your monthly reading for April 2020. This is for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Ooh, in Pisces. This may not resonate with everyone because it is a general reading. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. This is different from my monthly reading because usually I do like a past, a present, and a future. This time what I do is I take one card from this deck for each week, and then I take 2 cards from this deck and I clarify each week. So we will go through each week of the month, or 4 weeks of the month, and clarify that. And then, sorry, sometimes it's hard to talk and shuffle at the same time. And then also I will be pulling 2 cards from the universe and messages from the universe, and then 2 crystal oracle cards as well. So I've got the first week's card already pulled out. Here's the second week. Third week. And 4th week. Okay. All right, Pisces. So the first week we've got the 5 of Wands. Second week we've got the Ace of Swords. Third week we've got the 8 of Swords. And then the 4th week we've got the King of Swords. So it looks like we've got a lot of communication and swift action, like swift movements. Let me clarify these things here. So in the first week of the 5 of Wands, I always call the 5 of Wands my Hunger Games card. It's almost, competition, or, possibly not being able to see eye to eye with others on certain things, or thinking that maybe your idea is better. Let's see. 5 of Wands. All right, 5 of Wands, 3 of Swords here. So this looks like you feel some sort of, Hunger Games competition. And the 3 of Swords is the Heartbreak card, so it could have something to do with love matters. And then we've got the 7 of Pentacles here. So the 3 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles shows me that there's feelings of competition. There's feelings that, as far as love is concerned, that you have been waiting on something, waiting for something to develop, and sort of bearing the fruits of whatever the labors are with this. The problem is it has something to do with heartache. It could have something to do with a third-party situation. Either way, it seems that there is quite a bit of conflict for you involving matters of the heart and just kind of waiting things out right now. In your second week here, we've got the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a new beginning, or a moment of clarity, an epiphany, an aha moment. And interestingly enough, the first card that we've pulled here is the King of Swords from my other deck. And if you'll notice, the last week we also have the King of Swords. So this is a very strong King of Swords energy coming in here. And I really like this for you, Pisces, because sometimes you can spend a lot of time in your head and not really being able to make a decision for yourself that is, can get you moving in a direction. A lot of the times, actually we're in this, I pulled this card also to go along with the King of Swords, and it's the 4 of Cups. Okay, and the Four of Cups is feeling dissatisfied with something. So, whatever this situation is, you're feeling dissatisfied, but you have some new ideas or new epiphanies or, new communications coming through to you in regards to this. And now you're like, okay, so I am dissatisfied with whatever the situation is that I'm in, and I am ready to make some decisions and I am ready to move in certain directions. Like, I'm fed up, right? So it's like you're almost fed up with whatever the situation that you're dealing with, and you're ready to move forward and to leave behind feelings of dissatisfaction. And in your third week here, we've got the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about, that's self-inflicted types of mental anguish, right? That's anxiety. That's the feelings that you have no control over things, or, and but the thing about that is that it's definitely like it's self-inflicted. So let's see how we can clarify this Eight of Swords. And we get the Two of Wands. Okay, we get the Two of Wands, and that's like that's decision making. That's coming to a point in time where you're like, okay, I have to make a choice here. There is really no other way but to just make the choice and move forward. This is definitely like, it's almost like it's almost as if the things in your life that are causing you to be dealing with all these swords, because we do have a lot of swords here, and swords are their movement, though. I like that. So it seems as though you're being pushed to make movement almost, because this cauldron has bubbled over, and you don't have a choice but to deal with the things in your life, the heart pain in your life that's bubbling over. You have to deal with it. There's no other way to operate. So it's like you were waiting for something to happen with matters of the heart, and it didn't. And now you're just like, okay, well, I've waited long enough, and now it's time for me to just move forward. Yep. So we got the World card. Excuse me, I am dealing with allergies, so if I sneeze in the middle of this, don't hate me. So with the Two of Wands, in the World, this is a definite ending of a cycle here. This is the ending of this cycle, okay, of allowing the things in your mind that are taking up space in your mind from continuing to take up that space. And then with the King of Swords right here, King of Swords energy is really, really strong in this reading right now. You are embracing your King of Swords side, and it's good. It's very good for you. Sometimes the King of Swords can come across as cutthroat, but Pisces, like, you're not a cutthroat person. So your version of the King of Swords is going to just be you actually being able to take action and make decisions. And it's really because the universe has kind of caused your cauldron to bubble over. So with the King of Swords, we've got the King of Wands. Okay, let me pull one more card here and see what we've got here. And the Ten of Wands. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands is that, either there are two ways that this is looking to me right now. Number one, you could be dealing with two people, right? And I did say third party situation, right? So this is, just because it's a king doesn't necessarily mean that it's male energy, but it can be male energies. Or it could be female energies, or it could be any sort of an energy that's blocking this heartbreak third party situation, whatever this is. But I almost equate the four, not equate them, but they go well together. The Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, remember, I was talking about not being satisfied with things. And the Ten of Wands is because you're bearing this burden, like, and you're all set with bearing that burden. Like, the dissatisfaction that is associated with this situation, like, you're all set with it. You're like, all right, you know what? This situation is really difficult for me, and if I don't take myself out of this headspace and move on from it, right, and change the cycle, it's only going to keep being like this, right? You're gonna keep having your cauldron bubbling over with issues because you're not allowing them to dissipate. Okay, so the universe, okay, just to, now that all the cards are out, just to clarify this, the universe did this, right? The universe was like, you know what, let's bring these issues to the surface because you're not really working on them the way that you should. So let's make you work on them, right? So here's the issue. It's with heartache and it's with waiting, right? And then you've got the Ace of Swords here, which is sort of like maybe you had a new plan here. A little bit. Sorry. I had like some coffee before I turned on this video, and now I'm like, do I have coffee right here? I'm not sure. Anyways, moving on. Ace of Swords is, maybe you're realizing this. Maybe you're realizing that, whatever the situation is, it's not something that you want to be a part of anymore. You're not satisfied. You're not, whatever this is, you're like, you know what? Let's just cut this out. We don't need this anymore. We don't got to deal with this. We have other things to do, right? So the Eight of Swords in your third week there is just pretty much you just being mentally bound. That's the way I'm seeing it. You're mentally bound and you are making choices so that you can end mental bondage, right? Allowing a situation to take up space in your head where you could be filling it with something else that's better for you. And then with your King of Swords at the end here, all right, that's just really like by the end of April, you're gonna be done with the you're gonna be done with the burden that this connection has brought you. I'm sorry, I have a cat on the table and she seems to be walking this way. Oh, no, okay. Anyway, sorry about that, Pisces. So let's pull 2 messages from the universe. Yeah, Pisces, you're definitely letting go. You're definitely letting something go here. And it's going to be better for you. There are a lot of swords here. And, swords are not my favorite. Definitely the least favorite of all of the different suits. And it's because it talks about dealing with something really difficult, Nobody likes to deal with difficult things, but we have to. We have to. And your messages from the universe here are, happiness is my birthright, which is my favorite one, And the reason that it's my favorite is because I've come to realize that the society that has been created for us to live in is a society that constantly is telling us that we need to work hard to be happy. We need to do this and then we'll be happy. We need to do that and then we'll be happy. No. Fuck that shit, okay? Fuck that. You're allowed to be happy just because you exist. And that's something that we need to start ingraining in ourselves, really. And then your next message is, the more energy and tension I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So Pisces, the universe is telling you to be fearless and free. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Be the best version of you, or work on being the best version of you, being who it is that you want to be. Okay? And messages. Okay, first message is courage. Okay? This message has been popping up a lot. So courage and grounding, getting out and taking a nature walk somewhere where you can still social distance and being in touch with the earth and making sure that you're grounding yourself. And this is a great card because it's got Jasper and Selenite. Jasper is for your root chakra and Selenite is for your crown chakra. So you work with these two simultaneously. It's like the balance of the earth, the lower chakra and the higher chakra. It's really, I think it's really great for you to really work on balancing your chakras as well, Pisces, because the emotional waters, they run really deep for us, right? I'm a Pisces as well. I'm sure that you guys know this already, but the emotional waters run so deep, and sometimes we're a little bit too much in our heads. So making sure that daily you're grounding yourself to the earth so that you can deal with earthly matters. Because I'll just say from personal experience, like, I don't like to pay bills. I don't like to do mundane things. I would so much prefer to just be living in my head, you know? So your second crystal oracle is release, right? So releasing anything, and you know what's nice too? These cards are one after the other. You see here? One after the other. And that's just like a nice progress. That's just the universe saying, have the courage to, you know, whatever this is that you're, you know, the situation is, in whatever capacity it is that you're dealing with, having the courage to deal with it, having the courage to make choices that are in your best interest and not in anybody else's. And then releasing, letting that shit go, having the courage to let whatever this is go so that you can move on with your life. So I hope this helped, Pisces. Have a great day.